Welcome back to another video essay, everyone, and today I want to be discussing my personal thoughts on VRChat and how it has changed in the past couple of years since I started playing in 2017, almost 8 years from today. To start off, VRChat sucks, and I'm really not enjoying the game like I used 2 years ago. That's not to say the problems lie entirely with the developers, but it's rather a mixture, with 80% community and 20% developers. To start off with, the community for this game absolutely has some of the worst top 1% of people to exist. What I mean by that is the majority of people are nice and interesting to talk to, but the worst people on here are the most entitled, narcissistic, weird, and downright awful human beings you will ever talk to in your life. I can't even start to imagine the amount of times I've been kicked, warned, banned, blocked, or muted by these people because of simple disagreements. That's not to say I didn't deserve every verdict. I absolutely deserve some of those, but not near to all. My main problem is that a lot of people in the game suffer from a god complex and feel the need to use VRChat as an escape to be able to boss people around. Now, I understand there are rules set in place for people to follow to prevent problems and in order to set order for the world, but some people take it a bit too far and completely ruin the experience for all. Now, some of you may recognize that I am one of Jonk's friends, and he does do trolling content. Again, I would like to reiterate that I understand why I get kicked and banned from some worlds, but that doesn't always change the fact that some people, like them, are still like this on a regular basis even without us trolling. They still play God and constantly pick on those with lesser power, all for saying, "May I order a poop drink?" Something that is clearly a joke. And that is honestly just the front to it. Not to mention, they're actually the least bad of the bunch. The next groups are much worse. And of course, it's the people who heavily engage into fetishes and sexual content on VRChat. The amount of times I've run into people who are openly flaunting their fetishes out loud in public lobbies is insane. But even then, that's again not even the worst of it, because it comes down to a few specific fetishes that make it the absolute worst thing possible. And I would say it would be the age play, bestiality, or lolly fetishes. It's one thing to be in an adult world with people talking about their fetishes, which is fine. I'm not saying that people aren't allowed to talk about adult stuff in specific adult themed worlds with no minors around. But the problem I have is outright illegal or morally horrendous stuff that they tell people about, such as engaging in intercourse with animals, sexual experiences or attractiveness to children, or people who essentially look like a child, lollies, and age play, which is sexual roleplay often involving dressing in a childish clothing and or accessories and engaging in childlike behavior for sexual relief. To me personally, the developers need to put a hard chain on this problem and start figuring out a way to find some of these people's accounts and have them permanently banned from this platform. The stuff that is happening here is not alright for any reason whatsoever. In my time playing, I've met a lot of wonderful people in the game, including my main online friend group that I've just had the best years with. Now that I really think about it, all of my friends that I play with online have stemmed, one way or another, from VRChat. Jonkstrap, Rapley, Hooden, or Tyloo are just some of the names you might know, but there are tons more. But we all have something in common. Our beginnings as friends all started from VRChat. These guys are some of my best friends and I love playing games with them, not to mention I've actually hung out with them in person plenty of times too. This game has led me to meet people with all different types of personalities that just fit perfectly into our friend group. And to think all these connections and friendships wouldn't exist because of a simple dumb meme, Uganda Knuckles. But this is the good side of VRChat, because even with all the horrid people you may meet, you'll meet much better ones. This is one of the last ones I wanted to talk about because a lot has changed since I started making maps and avatars in 2018, but I wanted to get in on a little bit of optimization fixes that the game needs. To start with, the new menu system for me is overcrowded and has way too much going on all the time. Till this day, I still have no idea how to fully navigate the menus properly, and so do a lot of my friends. And this to me is one of the most annoying things they have done with the game. I feel as if they could overhaul the menu to a simpler function. It would make the UI a lot better for the game. Another problem I have with the game is that a lot of people's avatars are really laggy and it makes the game unplayable for a lot of people with lower hardware. And I get that it's hard to make everyone's avatar fit into an optimization spot, but I feel as if there's a better way to set this up to allow a good balance of optimization and the freedom when making avatars. And I know there's already safety settings and other settings that you can change to get better frames, but I feel as if sometimes that takes away the whole point of the avatars. What's the point of having a custom avatar if most people need to block them in order to play the game as normal? To me, half the experience is being able to see all these different avatars of people showing the diverse likes and dislikes of their personalities. Now, on a finishing note for optimization, I will state world optimization has gotten tremendously better over the years, with also allowing for much more complex and beautiful creations. From what they've started off with to what is possible now is absolutely crazy, and I dare say some of these worlds are better optimized than modern games from AAA developers. Again, I do not enjoy VRChat the way I used to, and these were why. Even with all the positives I can state about the game, the bad outweighs the good here, and I still do not enjoy playing the game as much as I had. Now, will I stop playing the game entirely? Absolutely not. You will still continue to see me on, either recording with friends or just simply hanging out with others. But the idea needs to be understood. I do not enjoy VRChat like I used to. I will not be pouring hours into the game and spending gross amounts of time on it like I used to. Now, on a finishing note, I do not condone anyone going out of their way to spread hate towards any of the groups of people I have mentioned in this video. As much as I disagree, my goal is to not have people threatened, but to only become aware of a different side of this game. These were nothing but my personal opinions on the game with insights into certain areas. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking it, leaving a comment, and subscribing as it helps the channel grow. These videos take a lot of time to write, edit, and produce, and it means a lot when y'all show your support. Thank y'all so much, and have a nice rest of your day.
Problems, don't act like it's okay. When I Will Smith that fan on stage, I hope nobody got that on tape. Get that spotlight off me when sweeping the floor. Everyone watch where you step. Please let me show you the door. I think there's a crack in the glass. Pray it don't ever collapse.